Bergen, fifth straight game, we're hitting above 300. I mean, what's working well for the offense?
I think it's really helpful knowing that all of my attackers are up every single time, and I think that that's something we've really been working on in practice, is especially with the middles, getting middles up for every single play regardless, and so that's helped to open a lot of things up for the pins and then obviously get the middles kills, and I think that that's been huge for us.
Mary talked about she's kind of changed her angle of approach. Does that impact you at all, or allow you to put the ball in a different spot for her, or is it just you're giving her the same thing every time?
Yeah, no, it's kind of been the same for me, and she's just kind of trying to adjust a little bit better.
I think you guys had 5 blocks in the first 15 points. I guess what was it like that you had done the game plan, followed the game plan, you didn't need time to adjust, you kind of set the tone with your defense to start the match?
Yeah, for sure. Coach talked a lot about Londot's attack, she's a stud, and so the biggest thing for us is executing the game plan, especially when we play against big competitors. Never getting outside of ourselves or trying to do something crazy, just sticking to what we know and what the team goal is. So, yeah.
Does that come with a sense of pride? Maybe you think your first team to hold her below 10 kills this season. Do you get a sense of pride to be able to limit those big killers?
To hold anyone down. We treat everyone with the same respect, and yes, she is a very talented player, but our goal is to keep everyone low.
What was working well with the block? I mean, you had 7 that first set too, and just kind of really frustrating a lot of their hitters. What was working well with that?
Just vision, and we talked a lot about just communicating. There's a couple plays where Harper, I could feel her pushing and saying, just go for it. So the biggest thing is communicating, especially when you have a front row setter. It's really easy to get flustered as a middle blocker, but when you can trust your pins and really lean on the communication, it really allows me to do my thing.
What does it say about your team's execution on a night when you only had 2 digs?
Yeah, it's definitely helpful when I'm not taking first balls, and I think that, again, that's going to help our numbers to go up a lot just because we're always in system, and I think that that's a big kudos to all of the defenders around me. I trust that if it's over my head or if it's in a different zone, I know that they're going to go get it.
I think you had to play with Bekka in the second set where you almost set like a vertical ball, then you got out of the way. Was that a design play, or is that just where the pass was and what you made out of the situation?
Yeah, I think that was kind of just us working together. It was a difficult pass if I'm thinking of the same play as you are, and so Bekka made an audible. She wasn't on what I originally told her, but she called something different, and that's another thing that we've really been working on is just, like I said, getting the middles up regardless of where the pass is, just like less than ideal situations, trying to find them, and I think that was a really good call by Bekka, and then we made it work.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
The last few times you guys played ranked teams, that third set, there was a little bit of a letdown, and the other team won. What happened tonight that let you win? What did you do?
Yeah, sure. We talked a lot about adjusting. Lainey Choboy, man, she's going to be a great coach one day. She brought it up when we were talking about things that could hurt us in the long run, and it's not adjusting because right off the bat we're a great team, but as Coach always says, the great teams adjust, and that has been our weakness in the third set. So Lainey made a great point. She's like, I hope that they would adjust if they're down 2 sets, or they're just going to get swept and sent home. So we talked a lot about adjusting and just playing it cool and not getting outside of ourselves, and I think that's what we did tonight.
Bekka, did this week feel any different knowing that Big Ten is starting now and you got 10 weeks of Big Ten season?
A little bit, because I know what's at the end of all of this, and I remember as a freshman I was just kind of playing it game by game, but now as at my second time around, I've experienced being so close to something and blowing it, so I understand the value of every game and each opponent, and you really can't overlook anyone in the Big Ten because you never know if, you may drop a game here, drop a game, you never know how it's going to add up near the end because in the Big Ten we don't get to play a tournament. It's all based off of wins and losses, so every game has got to be our best game.
What's at the end of this? What do you mean by that?
Like with the end of our record, if you have the best record, then you're declared the Big Ten champion.
Any more questions?
Bert, what was your first taste of the Big Ten like?
That was a really fun game. I think the environment was really good. Everyone came out ready tonight to cheer on the Huskers, and I think that, like Bekka said, we know that this is going to be a grind, and you never get an easy game in the Big Ten, and so I think that we worked really hard this week to be prepared for this game, and we executed really well.
Picking up you guys' third ranked win of the season in a row, as kind of a younger team, what do you think has kind of been your guys' biggest takeaways from these past 3 games?
137. I was going to say 137.
Yeah, we like to talk a lot about how we are technically a young team, but we don't see ourselves as a young team, and I think that just kind of stepping up to that role, and we know that there's a lot of new players on the court, but we also have just been trusting our training and trusting that we have that connection, we have that chemistry, and we can go out there and beat anyone.